should I have a 15-minute qualifying call in my sales process? It's not really like a black or white process. There's not like there has to be a qualifying call, or there absolutely cannot be. A few things that I would think about. One is, it is a source of friction in your sales process. When you introduce a 15-minute qualifying call, you're introducing some friction. Okay. Now, the question you want to ask yourself is, do I want to introduce that friction? If I have no leads in my pipeline, no, I don't want to introduce any friction. If I have plenty of qualified leads and I can get a new lead to replace an unqualified lead very quickly, very easily, then yeah, I want to introduce some friction. The other thing that I want to think about is, sometimes I just want reps. One of the biggest challenges is you don't get enough reps, like doing sales calls, to get really good. Okay, and that's what it takes to get good at sales, is you've got to have enough reps. You got to get enough at bats to be able to hone the swing. Early on, like what I would say is, I don't know, like if you're wanting to get good at sales, just take the sales calls. Like, why introduce the friction? So that's another thing that I would think about. And then the third thing that I would think about is, who's doing that qualifying call? As a salesperson, I want control of who's doing the qualification. So I don't necessarily want an SDR or a BDR or somebody doing like a lot of heavy qualifying for me. Like maybe some baseline shit to make sure it's like generally right industry, like some really, really basic stuff. But I feel confident enough in my sales abilities that I can create opportunities if I get the opportunity to talk to somebody that's in my space. I'm not just looking for things like the ball is on the tee and like has to be a perfect opportunity, otherwise I'm not going to do it. Like, no, like that's not the way that I do sales. I'm thinking about it in terms of, hey, you know what? Can I get my foot in the door? Can I start a conversation? I don't need this to be overqualified on the front end. And I want to get more at bats, and I want to get those reps. I want to get some practice in. So those are a few things to consider. Like, do you want a qualifying call? Do you want that friction? Do you want the experience with sales calls? And then who do you want doing that qualification, or what do you want? Do you want it, through an AI bot, through an SDR, through a form, something like that?